Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la, we win. They go, ooh la la, we win. They like, ooh la la, we win. We go, ooh la la, we win. Okay, ooh la la, we win. They like, ooh la la, we win. We go, you know the vibes. Like, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews, Popovisms 101, and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you diddy to the left and hit stage left, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash the notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time, and you've been rocking with the channel, good luck. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We is in the end game, people. We in the end game because Trump's wife died. It's his first wife. You know what I mean? Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, video, your lifestyle out of here, like your lavish lifestyle out of here, you know, she lived a great life, you know what I mean? For her status, person she was with, 3 beautiful kids, you know what I mean, to have kids, and to be a part of the elite. 73 and down a flight of stairs, maybe, you know what I mean? That's what they saying. And condolences and rest in peace to her, and we all got it deep, you know what I mean? Speaking of death, Williams Hart, you know what I mean, from the Delphonics, he passed, 77 years old, you know what I mean? He for the new school or people that might know some of his work, and they got hits, but Big did his joint over. Wake up, open the door, like, you know what I mean? Don't cry no more, you been robbed, like, hell, you know what I mean? They got that from, you know what I mean, Hey Love, and that's one of their hit songs. And they got a lot of his songs, so, you know what I mean? He lived a lavish singer, R&B lifestyle life as well, you know what I mean? And we all got to go, so rest in peace to them. But you know why we else in the end game? We in the end game because TikTok is the gift that keeps giving. And it's a trend going around right now, a challenge, you know what I mean? Put the shoes on, of parents gassing their kids up, getting them, some of them frantic, some of them is definitely with the shits, some of them is, what's the terminology I'm looking for? Flight or run, like this is the moment, you know what I mean? Yeah, adrenaline is pumping. And you can see real emotions from real kids, you know what I mean? Is it wrong? Is it right? What are you talking about? Talking about parents coming to their kids like, yo, put your shoes on. Mommy got to go fight this lady down the block, and she got a daughter your age. Say, I need you to fight her. So some of the kids is like, what? Like, you know what I mean? And when you watch the compilation of some of these videos, in fact, I'll show y'all one of them because before I ran across this particular video with all of them, I only seen this first one of the little boy, and I was like, damn it, man. I felt bad for small boy. You know what I mean? Even though he still was going to go do it because he, kids want to please their parents. They want to seek, you know what I mean, validation, and you did well. They don't want to disappoint their parents. You know what I mean? This the video right here. This shit crazy.
Right.
This the first one I seen.
You gotta put your shoes on. I'm finna go fight this dude, and if his son step in, then you gotta get in.
Yes, sir.
What? Are you taking a deep breath for?
I'm glad to see you together.
Huh?
I'm like this is gonna be a good fight, but
Why you say that?
it's my fault. It's gonna be a good fight for me.
Why it's not gonna be a good fight for you?
These are fights I lose.
These are the fights that I lose.
No, but you gonna win this one. Because if when I'm fighting his daddy, he got a 7-year-old son and you need to fight him too. Is you gonna fight?
Kind of scared, but yeah.
I'm kind of scared, but
As
yeah,
long
we
as you
just
fight,
do it.
you ain't gotta be scared. Alright?
Alright.
So it's,
Right.
it's mad videos like this. This little girls, one little girl got the toy gun. She was with the shits. There's videos like this, you know what I mean? When he like fights like this don't work out for me. Probably getting bullied, you know what I mean? And you know, again, whether you on right that this shit is wild, crazy just for the views, I am on that side. I think certain things is not all for sale. Like, you know what I mean? Don't sell your soul out. And there's so many things with this little TikTok channel. Like I said, there's women talking to their daughters and sons, you know, his fathers talking to their sons and vice versa. And it's a lot from all ages. What it really just shows to me is that, you know, again, you got floor seats to the thing that we call life and the thing that we call the world and society. And in a lot of these homes, this is what's going on. This is the mentality. And you know, again, whether you right or wrong, obviously we all gotta learn that, you know, life is hard. So if you one of the weak ones, you know, or you're the weaker one, people prey on the weak. So, you know, you could be like, it's life lessons, you teaching your child now, flight of fear, flight, you know what I mean? What you gonna do? Some kids was with it, some was a little timid, some was like, nah, I'm not doing like, no, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to. When you think about the mischief and, you know, some of the stuff that you got into as a kid, your first encounters with violence and maybe got to defend yourself or maybe even, you know, get your ass whipped. You know what I mean? Everybody don't come out like Floyd, you know what I'm saying, undefeated. You get punched in your face, you get kicked in the stomach and slam the child on the hardcore creek. I'm playing, but I'm not. That's a Slick Rick reference. You're going to get your ass whipped. You're going to take your bumps and your lumps and all that shit. It's just, can you be strong enough to overcome whatever trials and tribulations that's laid in front of you? But it's a spectacle. This shit is better than theater. And I'm not one for just throwing everything on the internet. And then think about it from this way. You the parent. So nobody can tell you how to parent. Nobody can tell you what to do. And your home is, you the king of this shit. Ralph Cramner, like, this is your shit. George Jefferson, you know what I mean? Archie Bunker. You run this shit. So nobody can tell you what to do. Cool. In the perfect world, people should speak up. Especially when, you know, it's abuse going on, obviously. And to some people, that's not obvious. But this is what I want to talk about in this sense. Kids, they still young humans. They still, you know, they're going to grow up to be humans. Where's their rights at with certain intimate things to be, you know, fed to the beasts of the internet? You know what I mean? Like social media, this shit is undefeated. Like, you know what I mean? Who got blamed? This shit's been on the web for years. Like, you know what I mean? Your child is famous for the wrong reason or for something that not of their choosing. That's, you know, where I'm getting at. Like, they don't have a voice. You just catching them at the most full reaction. Like, this is reality TV. And it really is. When you see that this is not scripted, it's uncut, that feeling, authentic, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You get to see the rawness. That's why it moves you right away. Like, you know what I mean? When you see the small boy right here, he gonna do it. And he like, yes, sir, and all that. Respectful manners, you know what I mean? Obviously, that's his father talking to him. But you can also see the fear, that the apprehension is like, damn, I'm gonna try my best. And there was a few kids that said they're gonna try their best. They wasn't, and some of the kids was like, oh, nah, I seen mommy in action before. I seen daddy put foot to ass. So I gotta do the same thing. And so, you know, I forget the brother's name that was training his sons, like some MMA or, you know, a UFC type of fighter. I should have his name, but I don't. Because this is unscripted. But anyway, on his channel, you know, his kid's grown now. I follow the channel, I just can't think of the name on the Instagram page. But he shows his kids how to box and how to kick and do all the shit he know how to do. And in the younger years, or a few years ago, had a lot of the moms, even some fathers, you know what I mean, or some men. Like, yo, that's way too hard. Like, you going in, you know what I mean? Showing them, you know, what they can take and what they can't take. And obviously, nobody can tell you what to do with your kids, right? But people was on the internet telling him to do, you know, how to raise his kids and what not to do and how to, you know, toughen them up and prepare them for the world. Anyway, you fast forward today, they bigger now, you know what I mean? They nicer, and they gonna be animals, you know what I mean? As far as their craft of fighting and defending, they're not gonna be scared. So, you know, depending on what you bring to the table as a parent, then yeah, you know what I mean? But the thing is too, oh, but you black, right? Like Joe Pesci, you want to go to South Africa? Let's start some other challenges, some other trends. You know what I mean? Like you only see, you know, shorty with the dreads and, you know, telling you about investments and, you know, what's liabilities, what's assets and woo and stuff we need to know that adults don't even know. He knew as a kid, you know what I mean? Just a child. Parents teach him. And obviously for the parents that take financial literacy, you know, stronger than others, put more emphasis on that than others, then they're going, you know, or at least they should be further along the line when it comes to that. But it's a whole lot of other stuff we could be, you know, and you had white folks, it wasn't just exclusive to black, but you know, we like to, you know what I mean, play in the buffoonery, lay in the buffoonery, slide in the buffoonery, and the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I know where it's from, you know what I mean? And it does. So you'll see more of this, and again, whether you on the right side, the blue side, blue pill, whatever you are, it just does give you a front row fucking seat to what people do in their crib. And it's like, you know, it's one thing to want to be famous, and you know what I mean? Everybody loves a star, and they do when they on top. But nobody comes around when he starts to drop. That's a Michael Jackson reference, you know what I mean? And that's the back part of it. When you rocking and you rolling, like, you know what I mean? When you establish and got a lot of money, everybody want to be your bunny and honey. Like tall buildings, they call skyscrapers. You know the rest. You catch the vapors, and that's if you do your 1-2s and make it. If you don't make it, you know what I mean. That's another story. But the point is, it's a front row seat, and you can see everything. And it's like, yeah, this is what some people is teaching in their house. This is what's going on, and it's social media now. You know what I mean? The 90s and the early 2000s. Obviously, I think social media is 2010 or 2011. Yeah, you know what I mean? For the evolution, and obviously it keeps evolving. This is some mutant shit. We living in Marvel, you know what I mean? To see the effects of these kids now, you know, like, oh, you know what I mean? You was famous at 3 for getting a gat that was a toy. Just think about that. Right now, she's 3 or 4 years old. She's one of the memorable videos of the hundreds and thousands of these challenges that parents is doing to their kids. And just think when she's 15 or 16, she'll be remembered, you know what I mean? That'll be one of her highlights on the internet when mommy was like, put your shoes on, and she went and got the toy gun. You know what I mean? And it's like, is it funny? Is he dead? Well, let's talk about some other shit. You know? Let's talk about John Morant, you know what I mean? Because we hip hop, sports, interviews sometimes. So, and let's talk about ESPN as well. And the concept of doing the jobs that they do, having podcasts, niggas talking their shit, and real professionals. Like I always say, like niggas think they can rhyme till Nas start rapping and Jada, Big, like you know what I mean, Hov, and a few other rappers, Face, a lot of other rappers. You know, you can add to the list. Cool G, and just you know, popping names out. You think you can rhyme too, they rhyme, and you got to rhyme against them. Then it's like, nah, you can't rhyme. Like, you know what I mean? You're not that nice. Same thing with this type of shit, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the big boys like ESPN and Fox and, you know what I mean, and all these other networks that cover sports, you want to get it right, and obviously when it's live TV and it's unscripted, even though they should be scripted, they read it from the teleprompter, make no mistake about it, we not. You could fuck up reading the words, or they could put some shit there that's not supposed to be there, and you know what I mean? You fuck up, and you know you just swing back and you get it right, and you keep it going like Beyonce busting the ass, then getting back up and dancing on some professional shit. When the information is wrong, though, you know what I mean? And in this case, it's not that wrong, like far as swinging to the left, but you at least want to see if that's what he said, or have somebody do the research for you. And in this case, ESPN. I'm not sure if it was Max or Jalen from Jalen and Jacoby, which I like. said that Ja Morant, you know what I mean, the dark side, Memphis, and they coming, they on the up and coming. You know what I mean, I see them obviously keep getting better and advancing. Let's just for basketball purposes, moving into the future, contending with the teams that's currently constructed out there in the West. I see them competing. Anyway, with that said, you know, again, in the social media world, people gonna put microphones in front of you, especially if you are, you know, at the top of your craft in the field that he's in, or even in other sectors and fields. If if you producing at a high level where you recognize, people gonna want to know, you know, how you do it. Who, you know, how would you compete or fare against this person? You know what I mean? Hammers against Stark Tech, shit like that. Challenge. And it's like, you're going to say things. You're going to get on and start talking real greasy on them R&B records, and you platinum a million times, check the credits. So allegedly, maybe kind of sort of, he was like, Michael Jordan in this era currently would just be another, you know, superstar player. And pretty much he played in the era where there wasn't no dudes that was competition. Challenge. And that wasn't the quote. Even though I think, like I said, Jalen from, you know, Jacoby, from Jalen and Jacoby show, he either was hosting Mac's show or Mac said it or somebody that had purpose on there. They didn't fact check it and he didn't say that. And the person that actually did the interview, she came out and she, you know, pretty much roasted ESPN like, y'all some, you know what I mean, low levels, or you're not as worldwide as you have been in the past. And shots, you know, Scott Stewart, rest in peace. One of the originals and one of the people who did, you know, make ESPN cool to switch over and watch to, at least for me, in the early days. You know what I mean? He's definitely one of the rest of the Stuart Scott, you know what I mean? They say all the wrong stuff instead of the stuff that he actually said, which was, when you go to her podcast, her name is Taylor Group, I think. Taylor something. Let me get the name just accurate real quick because I got her name. Or maybe I don't got her name. Anyway, she outed them like, yo, that's not what he said. He said this. And pretty much he would have loved to play in the era of Mike. Who wouldn't? I mean, if you really think you that dude and you one of the top 5 dead or alive, and that's just off one LP, you help the game, it ain't help. You know what I mean? Then you do want to play against the best in the world. You know what I mean? I don't see no cap in that. Then after that shit, like you would have beat him, right? Like kind of edging him on a little bit, and you know just interview with shit. You know what I mean? It's, obviously you want to see if somebody gonna say something crazy. And I know on the channeling purposes, those definitely depending on who it is that I'm interviewing and you know conducting business with. You know, if they say something that's in a bad light, then I most likely won't put that in. You know what I mean? I'm never really trying to paint people, not take away from who they are, what they say, and they got to stand on it. Or you know, just embarrassment. Like that's not the platform. You know what I mean? Shout out to my nigga Rich or somebody. He like, nah, Lee don't run from none of the topics. I actually don't. Everything is on the table. You know, and it is what it is. It's the internet. Hit the subscribe button. He like, I'll smoke him. You know what I mean? And I ain't even gonna say that's debatable. Mike is the him J fadeaway perfect. He is the GOAT. Obviously, in basketball terms, everything is in front of Ja Morant. You know what I mean? They got a good team. Like I said, I think they can compete. I think they could win the title. You know what I mean? Depending on if you're gonna stay healthy, are you gonna be available? Because the best availability is, you know, being there. You know what I mean? You got to be on the court to, you know, to win. And will they have beat Draymond and them if he was there or not? You know, maybe. You know what I mean? That's all you really can say. But obviously, in sports, is injury. And obviously, teams that smart capitalize. But you know, this shit is scripted too, even if it's just a little bit. And, you know, pretty much that's just what he said. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, he don't have nothing. And I mean, people was kind of taking little shots on the internet about you couldn't even take Draymond and woo. And, you know, obviously it's a team sport. No one person could do it, but when it comes to Mike, obviously he get a lot of the damn credit and deservedly so. You know what I mean? Cool coach hitting the clutch, Kerr hitting the clutch, obviously riding the rebounds, and you know Scottie Pippen, who is on the Lakers now. But I just think people gonna talk their shit. Is it the new media? You know what I mean? Speaking of Draymond, and athletes now having, you know, they can just open up and roll out and have a platform. People are interested. People want to, you know, follow them, see what their lifestyle is about. outside of the fields that they're in. You know what I mean? Outside of basketball, outside of acting. You're interested in other aspects, and you know that makes people wanna follow and check you out. You know what I mean? And so, if you happen to be interested and you got a lot of hot takes, so to speak, you beefing on the internet, etc. People gonna tune in like, oh, now I'm gonna see what he gotta say. You know what I mean? Speaking of beefing and having platforms and niggas tuning into what you gotta say. Got Gilly, you know what I mean? In the news, talking real greasy on the R&B records. And, you know, shout outs to Gilly, you know what I mean? Talking about Rick Ross. Shit. Had the video for that shit. Oh, her name is Taylor Rooks. I said Rocks. Taylor Rooks. This shit out with Gilly the Kid. Gilly the Kid versus Ross. Niggas is beefing this shit on there. This shit is funny though. Mm-hmm. That's what he had to say.
I'm only gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop fucking playing with me, man. You hear me? And mind your fucking business, man. Because you went on a nigga Instagram page commenting about me, calling me out my name, my nigga, for no motherfucking reason at all. This is how this shit started. So I'm gonna tell you again, man, leave me the fuck alone, man. I see your little funky ass video. I spend more money on my cow's hooves than you spend on your wife. You probably right, nigga. Cause I ain't bought her, I caught her, nigga. She fuck with me because who I'm blessed to be, not because I bless her with a fee. But ain't you the nigga that said, I put Molly all in that drink, she ain't even know it.
Now, hold on.
Goddamn.
Hold on. Now, I like Rick Ross and I fuck with Rick Ross as an artist. And I like that he put some money in some black folk pocket too. You know what I mean? That's as far as it goes with that. So that's the little caveat. But when I'm stopping and I'm pointing this out is, I always quote that. What Gilly just quoted. Put Molly's all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. I said that, I was like, whoo, that's crazy bars. What are we talking about? Really, like, you know what I mean? Never gonna really, you know what I mean? That's, who feels comfortable writing that? You know what I mean? Even if it's just raps, you know what I mean? It sound flaky, it sound crazy. And obviously no charges, he addressed it. But I always just said, that stuck with you. No matter what type of roles you decide to do, you an actor, and you a damn good actor. But you throwing a dress on, you kissing a man, if that's not your beliefs. But because for the acting role and for a couple dollars, you was willing to come on baby, come on baby, and it's all for sale. Certain things, men and women that have integrity or they just, that's a little too red tape for them. They like, nah, negative, I'm good. Can't really give me enough to compromise. Same thing with writing and these rappers. When you saying some wild, goofy, crazy shit, that shit don't age well. And this is one for Rick Ross. And obviously he wrecked them, or went on more to talk about
bitch.
Being the CEO and all this shit.
Stop talking about money, man. Cause money don't unlame a lame, nigga. There's a lot of sucker ass niggas out here with money and you on the list. Matter of fact, you the captain of the Suckers with Money Association of America, nigga, and we ain't impressed. So mind your business. Because that's your problem. You're always minding niggas' business. You was minding Birdman business some years back when you was running around talking about, give Khaled the money you owe him. Well, you give Meek the money you owe him, nigga. Because you got him in a 1914 slave deal. A Harriet Tubman joint that he signed when he was 19 and now he's 35. I thought you said, a boss is when they guarantee we gon' eat. He wasn't renegotiating with a real nigga. Thank God he fucking with them white boys. He fucking around, be broke, busted, and disgusted fucking with you. He's a hell of a businessman, though. Salute to you, Meek. But stop talking about money, man. And stop pushing that Bel Air on niggas, because they don't drink that shit no more. I got the ice electric blue bottle, and I got the lime green bottle that floating that
one thing Gilly know how to roast.
We don't give a fuck. You don't want it, man. Niggas don't drink that shit, man.
Funny.
And slow up on them goddamn lemon peppers because you're about a 6-piece away from a heart attack, nigga. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm telling you, this ain't what you want like Lil Durk first single, nigga. You better leave me alone. And one thing about me, I'm not no hater.
You're not a hater. And I'm not a hater either. I don't got to stand on the next man back to elevate my game. Like, you know what I mean? I just do it on my own. And, I am who I am without who I stand next to. And you should be that way. It's good to have, you know what I mean? If you lucky and you got friends, how many of us have them? Like, you know what I mean? Really though. Then you lucky. And if not, then exactly the part that I just said. He like, listen, bro, you talking all that money shit, and that shit don't make you from being a lame. You know what I mean? And he like, you the king of the lame committee niggas. And again, you know what I mean? If the business is right about me, Kim got him in a fucked up deal, and you know you scrutinize other people and you say they get the bag, and you deflecting. If that's true, like allegedly, maybe kind of sorta, I don't know. I know he made a lot of great points. The rap shit, people always, I mean, the CEO shit, that's always something else that's gonna hang over your head. But you know, people get caught up so much, believing they the biggest, and it's like, yeah, you was awesome. And this no knock on nobody that's working corrections, working a legal job. You're not out here doing no foul shit to feed your family. Could never knock that. But it is, you should know, you know what I mean, what not to do and what to put out there. It's no humbleness, you know what I mean? It's just like several seats in the sense of the lane he took rapping wise. Like you said, you going to tell niggas to lock in, you know what I mean? Like on the child. Yakisobe tonight, chili con corn. Then you come into the studio according to him, turning your hat backwards, you know what I mean? No cap. And then starting to spit some, I'm a bullshit and I'm selling all the drugs in the world. It is like, damn, is this shit even possible? Like, you know what I mean? And again, he talented as far as the songs, right? Verses, you know what I mean? I like a lot of Rick Ross songs. It's motivational shit, you know what I mean? And obviously, he had a little run. I mean, it's not as like it was, but as far as the last 10, 12 years, his prints have been on the game in hip-hop. Can't deny that. He put out good music. But that looks bad. The optics, how people be saying, is like, not what you saying facts, but you talking, you know what I mean, out the side of your neck. Like, I don't like how you talking to me. You know what I mean? So it's the optics. It doesn't sit well with me. So I can't take it. It's bad medicine because, you know what I mean, you talking reckless to me. That's the real only argument that you bring. You're not bringing nothing, you know what I mean? And so if you're doing bad business like that and you say you a boss and you was getting money and you was selling bricks, you was doing this, you was doing that, you the biggest, right? Why is you fucking over that, man? Over some personal shit behind the scenes, shit on the bat line, you supposed to be able to talk to your bro or your little bro, however you view him, you know what I mean? Especially all that money he made you. I always never understood that. You know, I guess certain type of powers, you know what I mean? I gave you power, I make you buck wild to, you know, do that. But then some people say it's just business. And niggas is paper gangsters, and if you don't read the fine print, you're gonna get fucked over. Like industry rule number 4080, record company ladies are shady, you know what I mean? And that's a Tribe Called Quest reference. Niggas is shady, it's a shady business. And if you don't have your business right, chances are they'll be raking you. You're gonna get the Civic and we're gonna put the 20s on it, you're gonna sit clean. Like, you ain't gonna get, you know what I mean, what you think you're gonna get. And most times you get what you negotiate. Who's right, who's wrong, sum it up. I don't know what Rick Ross said about him. Obviously, he like, yo, you posting on another man page, calling me out my name, so I don't know what he called him. I know they got it one of the most listened to podcasts, and I like some of the shit they be talking on their podcasts. Obviously, it's a little different, you know, while off prison, and you know they have the rappers and they got plugs in, you know what I mean, connections, and it's like a drink champs in a way. You know what I mean? You always can depend on people to come through because they have that, you know what I mean, those relationships to get those type of interviews, and you learn a lot. I know the channel is about that. Obviously, you know, when you ask the right questions and you can get that raw response, like the TikTok videos that we see, you get to look inside and you know what I mean? And like, okay, I get it. I see what makes the wheels turn on some, and it's also just human behavior. You know what I mean? People, you know, from the same environment, same challenges, and you know, that's a whole other shit. But I think just business-wise, if you fucked them over and still fucking them over, you got a chance to make it right. What you waiting for, dog? It's like, you know what I mean? Get that man and let him be, and you can find another. Like Hope said, niggas think they made Hope say, okay, make another hole. So go do it again. And dust it as far as you don't see another one. And Hope was on I think the Kevin Hart podcast. I didn't watch it yet, but I know the clips is spinning of him talking about being a father, staying home, what you going outside for when you realize, you see what kids, parents are staying home doing, they making TikTok videos on how to scare their kids and see if their kids is about that action. You know what I mean? Rick Ross, I don't know what you said, bro. I know, if I was you, had your hand, they kept mine up and all that. You was doing that type of work, again, respectful. But you try to take the street route, make niggas fake, try to see if he was doing, like Hope said, friend the folk, Then you get on, you make money, you make millions, and you put out good music. There's no need for you to do fuck business. You're supposed to be the most humble, like, I came from that. And he addressed that he was a CEO. He ran from it initially, and then finally, like, niggas know what it is. Niggas is doxing you. So you got to come out and put it in the rap. And he said, I shovel shit, I CEO, so we can bow our head and pray over the meatloaf. And that's how he addressed it on, Death Valleys? On that album is fire. Let's get to some other weirdo hip-hop, not hip-hop, but entertainment shit. Let's talk about the Doja Cat shit. Let's talk about her and, how she jumped in the DMs. What is his name? Sharks or whatever his name is, trying to holler at another, individual, and the young boy is 17. This dude is 31, 29 or 30. And it's real interesting in a lot of ways that, it's not wrong with taking a shot. This is what we do now. Swipe to the left, swipe to the right. Like, I'll pass. Moist dessert, sprinkle that on. Make it rain. Or your eyes pop out and it's like, oh, that's what it's hitting for. Scorpios be the best. You could have just hollered at homie. Okay, he don't got no social media. You are Doja Cat. You know what I mean? For whatever that's worth. And again, I ain't rocking her. I ain't in the gym rocking with it or driving rocking with it. It's like, what's the song, All Night or some shit like that? One of the songs I like. When I hear it, I like it. You know what I mean? And that's not to say she a bad artist or not. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's spinning on the radio, and for what's that's worth too, because this shit is predictive programming, and then we're gonna program you to death. And when you first didn't like the song, 2 months later, 90 days later, you liking the song because they done ran that shit, and you in your car a lot. You know what I mean? You listen to the radio a lot, and this shit is just subliminal messaging. That's side note. But anyway. For what it's worth, she is on the radio and she sold millions of records and she's a fucking big deal. Her little group or whatever, you know what I mean? Just had cancer in her throat, so she was already spinning in the news. And to think that she hollered at the 17-year-old, right? And it was famous, you know what I mean? Kids we talking about. To get to the next nigga, then he exposed, you know what I mean? Put the tweets out on, the Instagram DMs. So people could see like, oh, this bitch was super thirsty. Why hollering at the 17-year-old? Then she called him a little weasel, like that's some snake shit. Try to out him, you know what I mean? Like pretty much like you going on blast, nigga. Like we going to expose you. And everybody is living in, this is exposure. Everybody got trench coats on. You know what that means? When you standing on the train, nigga just open and all watches pop out. Yeah, not the other shit. I told my nigga the big dog in there. You know what I mean? Bernie Mac. You know what I mean? Flashlights, Eddie Murphy, the gold chains. Everybody's wearing one, and at any given moment, if they got something on you that they can possibly use, and you got something of value or something of substance that they think can benefit them, then yeah, you can definitely, know what I mean? It's a small world, so you better guard your secrets. And it's easy to get money, but it's hard to keep it. Like, you know what I mean? Jada reference. They'll expose you, and they'll put it all on the internet, and that shit'll be all for sale. And so he put the tweets out, the DMs and shit. And he later came out, this apology, and she looked bad, lost a couple of followers, or whatever they said it was. She lost a substantial amount of followers. And, for what that's worth, people following, I get it. That is the new drug, the new addiction for some that have that, to wake up to 50, 100,000 likes, like, you know what I mean? Drink your bubble bath, and, you know what I mean? You a sexy motherfucker, you know what I mean? Shit like that. They can do something to you, and we still seeing the lingering effects. But these are people that's obviously, they are known for something. She's for singing, she was out and it made her look bad. It made her look real bad. And she jumped into 17-year-old DMs, even though not to give him no buns. I don't think he was interested anyway. Like, nah, didn't you just have throat cancer? I'm good. You know what I mean? Smoking them vapes and thinking that shit look cute. You know what I mean? And he like, nah, holler 'em at yourself and woo woo, and he just, you know, let his followers see it. And they clowned her bad, like, oh, you some whack ass bitch. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta do all that, like. Now come along. We have a party to attend with some real mature women and some more of our friends. Yeah, well, that cab any waited for a minute, and then after the cat came down, we was in it. And it's like, these joints is low level, like ladies, gentlemen, and low life. Some low life move shit. You know what I mean? Like, just holler directly. There's other ways you could have did it. Then you get mad calling a weasel, and then on the back end, you got to pick up the bat line, and you got to apologize. But besides the little splash, like is that a smidget of a nipple, you don't really hear too much. People, that shit is over and done with. Like, you know what I mean? If that was a dude, obviously this is where the battle of sexes and, you know, what's good for you is good for you, and it don't apply to me, the double standards. That's one of them. Obviously, I could see that playing out much different. Again, even though she wasn't trying to holler at him, then that would have even looked bad when I first seen the story. I was like, oh, she's trying to get this nigga no butt. Damn it, man. And who's to say, you know what I mean, he ain't having, you know what I mean, it's fair shit. He's, you know what I mean, 17 is legal, obviously, to consent in New York State. I don't know what state he in. He in Hollywood, I'm sure, doing stranger things and shit. But, you know, she looked like a clown. She got to take that L. Loser, big pun voice. And it's just like, no accountability, even though people should apologize. I guess, you know what I mean, it's like, bring the folks up, but it's just so low level. It's just like, damn, like, you a whole 26 years old. Fame, fortune, status. You that awkward? Or you know what I mean? I don't know what you thought you was doing. Like, you know what I mean? This is the way, or you thought this was the best way? Like, you know what I mean? You wasn't smarter than that. You know what I mean? You see the nigga looking over the glass, some dumb dickhead shit, like some bubblegum shit. And it really was. It really was. The dude, though, probably would have looked a little, you know what I mean, on the bad side. Let's talk about some other shit. Let's talk about bad and good. You know what I mean? Let's talk about, because I went from negative to positive, and it's all good. And it's all good because, you know, July 31st, God willing, inshallah, will be the 17th year of the Heaven Up in Harlem cookout. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to rewind. 17th year of the Heaven Up in Harlem cookout, and I think that deserves, you know, props in itself, just to have something, you know, last that long. Just, you know, anytime you see, you know, obviously outside of statues and shit, people hold deities, you know what I mean? Something lasts long. It's a testament to, you know, enduring and obviously sticking it through and being consistent, being solid. And that's not for all things. You know, you see things that make it through the test of time. And, you know, obviously respect and being courteous and, you know, showing respect and, you know, things like that. That's always gonna be of all times, no matter what, you know, year BC you was born in. Certain things are just gonna be universal, is what I'm saying. But to see 17 years, people have friendships that they meet, you know what I mean, in March, and then in May the friendship is over. In the beginning, you know what I mean, and there's a lot of ladies that is, you know what I mean. When you go to the gym, you got a new gym partner, then you don't. You know what I mean? Now this bitch is getting on your nerves, and you know, y'all know how y'all be. This stuff don't last. Everything is to give it the cold shoulder, and you know, not no resolution. Even like when you see in TikTok videos, even though it's for play, not working on resolutions. You know what I mean? Even when the kids was trying to lead them to the right way of passage, they still on something. Obviously, it's the joke. And the kid is the butt of the jokes. They got to keep it going. There's no resolution. You know what I mean? So nothing gets hashed out. And in this case, you know, you say 17 years Heaven Up in Harlem. For those that don't know, you know, it's the cookout where, you know, everybody that get together obviously lost someone. We all know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that was right, and you know, lose someone that was close to us, a family member, a good comrade. You know what I mean? A good buddy, you know what I mean? Family and, you know, non-blood family, or, you know, relationships. Because it's not just all last name. And, you know, obviously The strongest relationships is the people that you building with on a consistent basis. Y'all on the same accord. Y'all goal and purpose driven, but for the same purpose and the same goals. You know what I mean? So you tend to, you know what I mean, it's rallying around and, you know, y'all building more as opposed to, you know, I didn't want to get into that. The thing is, you know, when you lose someone, no matter how you mourn them, when you think about them, everybody got their own way. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. But we come together, you know what I mean, and we commemorate the people that we lost. So, you know, I'm proud to say that out of all these years, there was no violence, you know what I mean? Nobody was injured or nothing like that. Only 1 year was a shot was let off, and that was in the air, you know what I mean? And we want to keep it that way. And this year the theme is, you know, bring your sons, bring your little cousins, bring your young ones so that when you come, other people, young ones and, you know, little cousins and sons, they can see each other. They can learn, you know what I mean? Mingle with each other. See that it's not ops. And that's not to say that this is what it is, but when you introduce and, you know, you let, oh, y'all over here, or that's Ronnie him up the block, well, I went to school with him, and you just introduce it so that it could be some familiarity. A lot of times, you know, like I said, when we was walking doing the march with my song, one of the, you know, the chants was, I can't kill my brother because I love my brother. When you see someone, you know, as a loved one, and I get it. Oh, but you black. Everybody got the same skin color as you, is not with you. You know what I mean? And they'll leave you like a trucker dead in the street, and that's it. You know what I mean? A special airline like dead in the street, run you over with no regards. Quicker than another race, you know what I mean? Unfortunately. However, back in the days when you hear, you know, people of a certain age speak of how they was raised, you hear them say, you do something wrong. Teacher tell your moms, but before you get home, somebody already alerted, like more connectiveness, more involvement. Even if it's, you know, you can't tell people how to raise their kids and how to live in their homes. But when it's familiarity, you can say, oh, nah, you probably could silence some of the beef easier. When it's like, oh, no, y'all about to go, oh, no, that's Danny, brother. Like, oh, that's such and such cousin. I went to school, I went over here. Oh, word, you know what I mean? I used to eat his mom's house. There's some type of, oh, all right, you know what I mean? Like, damn, we ain't gonna just roll. You know what I mean? And there's no, you know, that's just one way. And I think it's a great idea. I mean, obviously, people that come there, like I said, this is the 17th year. And even though it started out of violence, that's why I started with saying turn a negative into a positive and it's all good. You know, guy get murdered, unfortunately, like a lot of gunshots go off. And through that, you know what I mean, that was his way of, you know, commemorating and mourning and keeping this being alive. And y'all know on the channel I talk a lot, like, do you ever think about when you out of here, right? Your lifestyle, you know what I mean, everything you do out here, your Range Rover, your video, your doctor's appointment, all that shit is out of here. And every day, you know, we get closer and closer. Death soon come for all of us. How you living? And then the thing is, why you living, you know what I mean? Is you helping others push forward. So I think it's great, you know what I mean, that this year, the theme is that, you know what I mean, where, you know, learn one so you can see what's what, you know what I mean? And maybe the beefs subside a little bit, you know what I mean? At least just a little bit. When you think everybody's against you, or it's me against the world, and a lot of people got that, not just pocket attitude, like literally, you just see frustration, you see anger, I won't say desperation, you see balled up energy that's, you know what I mean, like ready to just lash out. And I know what that's like. That's why as young men, it needs to be harnessed into a trade or to training or to some type of skill, something that you can, you know, release them, you know what I mean, working out, you know what I mean, obviously. And hopefully bringing, you know, the young brothers and people seeing each other and, you know, recognizing that, you know, oh, it's not, you know, all what is, you know, beef and animosity. And I told you, walking inside the juice bar faces is, you know what I mean, tighten up, and it's like, yo, you black, I'm black, you live here, I live here, I don't got no problems with you. We got to get out of that. And then you see the other, you know what I mean? And again, you don't want them to feel no type of way, but I feel some type of way that they can just freely walk. And I've been here for years. Like, my family been here for years. Your family been here for fucking years. And a lot of our families ain't going nowhere. Like, we still here, ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Puff Daddy and them. We still here, we not going nowhere. Yet they come and flow like the fucking breeze. Like this, you know what I mean? They hopping seasons and shit. And they just pop in and go when they want freely. You know what I mean? And no stares. No look at what they mean like you about to do the business to them. No, none of that. You know what I mean? They just, you know what I mean? Headphones, dog, motherfucking whole food bags, ass walking around like nothing. You know what I mean? Dog scooping, you know what I mean? And yet you come out your building as soon as when you come out. And maybe not for the lazy hopers, you know what I mean? Depending on where you live. It might be on and popping, it might be lit. When you do come out your building, like, oh shit, I gotta keep my head on the swivel. Because I'm living over here, niggas is living foul. Like, you know what I mean? That's the reality for some people. And you gotta say, damn, but I've been living here for 25 years. My mom's been living here for fucking 40 years. These niggas just moved in on some gentrification shit 2 years ago, 5 years ago, like, you know what I mean? 30 years ago, there was no black cops. Like, you couldn't even run, stand around. I mean, like, 10 years ago, they wasn't here. They get all the benefits of all the new buildings, all of the parking, all of the fucking laundromats, all of the new stores. Like, don't get me wrong, prices is high as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? As opposed to the people that have probably been here, you know, you probably not paying what they paying. Granted, they still not walking out to the icebergs. They still not walking out to the fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, niggas don't even get a look like what the fuck you doing in the neighborhood or some colloquial shit from Bronx Town. Remember when he was walking shorty home and shit? And niggas was looking at him all, you know what I mean? Made him a little shaky, a little nerve. Nigga was scared. And then they threw a bottle at him. And then obviously when he went to the black, you know what I mean? When they came to the black, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, and I'm not saying that that's the right way and exact. Obviously we shouldn't be like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying there's no uncomfortability at all. Yeah, you've been living here paying rent your whole life, and you got to worry about, you know what I mean, shit popping off. They don't. I don't think that's right. Oh, but you black, you know what I mean? I think that shit is trash, you know what I mean? And a lot of other things. But, you know, nothing won't be done till, you know, people that feel like shit need to change, step up and do it. So the thing is what part you playing, whether in your home or on the outside. But, you know what I mean? What y'all think about the TikTok shit? Y'all think, you know what I mean, that shit was overboard? And obviously, Doja, she's way out of line. Gilly or Rick Ross, I don't know what he said, you know what I mean? Ja talking crazy about Mike playing in this era. And lastly, you know what I mean, having nothing home with it. If you lost someone, pull up, celebrate. How do you celebrate? How do you mourn? What's too long? Some people fall into, they don't never come back. When a person die, they die, even physically sometimes. When there be that much attachments, you know what I mean? It's the weekend, it's Friday night, that's what it is. Stay safe, stay up, stay blessed. Mind your business, be respectful. You was tuned in. Popovich TV, that's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here, one more again. Yeah, kid.